As with every hurricane season, we prepare extensively to make sure that the system is ready for when storms come. This year, we have done, in conjunction with the Corps of Engineers, extensive armoring and levee lifts out in New Orleans East. That's a significant improvement that continues to prepare us for the season. With every season, we also go through and not only inspect every mile of levee and every mile of flood wall, we exercise all of our gates, roughly 250 gates, land-based gates that we exercise, as well as all of our 8 major navigable structures, plus our large permanent pump stations on the lakefront. All of those are ready to go. They've been inspected and exercised, and so we're very confident going into this season that things will operate as intended.
We're on the shores of Lake Pontchartrain. Tell us how those improvements are going to be able to keep this lake where it's supposed to be in the event of a storm.
Sure. So, for example, the armoring and levee lifts out in New Orleans East along Lake Pontchartrain. So in conjunction with the Corps, we've raised those levees, brought them to the elevation they should be at and actually need to be at for a number of years into the future. And then the Corps has also put down armoring, which what that does is it prevents from catastrophic failure due to overtopping. So it's a high-performance geotextile fabric that goes down under the grass. And what that does is it runs from essentially the crown down to the backside. So if you do get a storm larger than 100 years, yes, the levee will overtop, but you won't have the catastrophic failures like we saw during Katrina.
Tell us about the technology that you've incorporated for the average person in this area.
Sure. So we have a number of initiatives underway, one of which is we're incorporating drones into our inspections. It lets us get great overhead shots and examine issues quicker. We intend to use it post-storm to help with inspections and look for debris and potential damage. Also, I think for this year, a major improvement has been our communication system with the public. We're now using a system called Everbridge, which the majority of our partners in the local parishes and the region use. It's an alert notification system. So people can sign up for it via our website, but they can get information pushed to them about river stages, hurricane issues, gate closures, and really a side benefit that we've been using extensively during the corona crisis is communicating with our own employees. We've been able to push out information to them about the status of the organization, what equipment needs to be worn, changes in policies. So I feel really, really good about us having that capability now. Corona, just like everybody else in the country and the world, has definitely impacted the Flood Authority East. We have had confirmed cases, but fortunately those were all right when the crisis started, and we've only had one in the month of May. We've taken extensive precautions to protect our employees, ranging from masks, gloves, disinfecting, social distancing, temperature checks. I think, on and on in terms of things we've done to protect ourselves, because we have to remain mission ready for hurricane season. A hurricane doesn't care about if people are quarantined or sick. We have a job to do to protect the people and population of New Orleans. It has extended our timeline to close gates. Normally, for example, during a Hurricane Barry type of situation where the river was high and there was a storm coming, it would normally take us about 60 hours to close the entire system like we did last year. We estimate right now that it will take us, if we don't take any other mitigating measures, another 12 hours on top of that to close. Now that's in line with other public agencies when they're looking at their evacuation planning. We are taking proactive measures starting on 1 June to close what we would deem non-essential gates that can be closed without impacting people or businesses. And so we think we can cut that additional time in half to about 6 hours. So we're looking at roughly a 66-hour timeline for us to close everything in the system if a storm is coming, and we're confident that we can accomplish that and keep the people here safe.
What advice do you have for the public during hurricane season?
First off is please prepare. We have an excellent system, arguably the best in the country and one of the best in the world here in New Orleans that protect us. But you can only reduce risk. You can't eliminate risk. And so we do our part, but we ask the public to do their part. That means preparing, that means storing water, fuel if you have a generator, food, handling your pets, having a plan if you have elderly relatives. And I think that becomes even more important in a situation like we're dealing with in Corona. The precautions that you have to take and the planning becomes even more extensive during a situation like this. So please, everybody, listen to your elected officials and your public officials and take your own precautions.
How can people get more information?
You can go to our website at floodauthority.org. It's got extensive information about storm season preparation, the levee and flood wall system that protects people, and also how to sign up for our public communications.